Welcome to Women of a Certain Stage, the podcast redefining how we think about menopause. I'm your host, Lauren Churin, a passionate advocate for breaking the stigma and empowering individuals to navigate this transformational stage of life with confidence and clarity. Here, we're diving into a new era of menopause support, featuring expert advice, real-life stories, and actionable insights. Whether you're curious about building your personal menopause plan or you're looking to make an impact, you're in the right place. Let's embrace the change together. I am super excited to welcome you here today and just hear a little bit more about what drove you to learn about menopause, to do the Menopause Coach Diploma and bring this into your part of the world. So what was the original trigger that initiated this all for you?
Hey, hi, Lauren. Nice to have you today. What triggered me? I think the journey started like 4 years ago when I first, it's cyclical, the symptoms are cyclical, but I started off from the nutrition point of view. I was reading about an anti-inflammatory diet. I was reading about food, and then somehow it linked to perimenopause, the symptoms, etc. And as I was going through it, in my head, I was thinking, oh gosh, we studied, we work hard, we raised a family. Rightfully at this point in our life, we should be enjoying ourselves and slow down and enjoying ourselves, and we're hit with all the symptoms. I see many of my peers continue charging at the corporate life, etc. And I think a lot, we need to educate everyone, every lady, because the symptoms is not just at perimenopause. How about postmenopause? How about 10 years after, 15 years after?
Yeah.
If we do something about it at this stage of our life, we will have a better quality of aging. All right, so that triggers me. And if I were to go out to talk about menopause, people would be staring at me. So I decided to look for menopause coaching course, and I compared like two, and it was and then I kind of delved into your call. I remember it was like 12 midnight my time. Every day for 3 days, I dialed in, and I was listening. I said, "Okay, I'm comfortable with this." It's not all about reading up, It's there's a lot of practice, etc. And I said, "Okay, let's go for it."
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
So just give people a little bit of background. Could you work in the education space already, in the learning space? Is that correct?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your day job.
Yeah. So I started off in, my first job is in construction. But after that, I have been in IT for the last 25 years, doing IT sales. So pretty stressful. And after that, now I'm working for a federation and I'm selling trainings to corporate. And so my day job, pretty good. I get to meet many people, especially the HR, human resource professionals. Yeah, I get to meet them. Yeah, so sometimes and I'm pretty happy that some of the organizations are pretty leapfrog now, and they realize that they have this group of ladies with them going through this process as well, and they'd like to introduce such health talks to the women and the men as well. But most of the men shy away. I remember one of the webinar, a man dialed in and then he said, "Oh, off here," and he just dropped off within 10 seconds.
I remember that happening with me when I first started doing this back in 2014. So just give people a little bit of background about where you are in the world.
I'm from Singapore, the little red dot here. Humidity is about 80% here, very warm. Temperature around ranges from like 30 to 35, and night is about 27. Yeah. So I see you in your jumper. No, that's not.
I'm in my jumper today. Yes, it's very cold, even though we're in springtime at the point of recording this. So tell me, what type of symptoms do you typically see in Singapore? What sort of things are your friends and people that you know experiencing when they're going through menopause?
All right. Based on the studies in Singapore, most women experience joint aches or arthralgia. So it's as compared to in the Western world where hot flush seems to be in the top 3. So
Yeah.
joint aches, sleep, issues with sleep, high anxiety. Yeah, those are the common ones. Of course, weight gain, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joint pain is something I hear a lot in Asia generally, although it does vary from area to area, but also specifically shoulder
Yeah.
problems. That's one that I've seen quite a lot of. And it's quite interesting for me how the symptom profiles change around the world. And the more we learn about menopause, the more that's becoming evident that people's symptom profiles are quite different. So, is there anything in either something you've studied with us or studies elsewhere that have given you more insights into why that might be or what Asian women typically experience when they're going through menopause as against Western women?
I am suspecting a lot has to do with movement and diet. Yeah. So very typically in Asian diet is high carb.
Yeah.
So when I was traveling to Europe, like Austria, etc., every meal is like a good piece of protein with potatoes. Yeah. I don't see hardly any refined carbs. Yeah. So that's a big difference. But over here,
Yeah.
if you go to our food center or anywhere, it's all carb heavy. Yeah.
Over in Singapore, you see meals being more,
Rice and noodle based.
much more carb heavy than it is over here.
Yes. Very little protein. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, isn't it? Because everything that we're hearing over in the West is telling us that we should be having a high protein, high fat diet. We should still be eating carbohydrate, but it should be largely vegetable based carbohydrate rather than noodles or rice or anything other than that. So I find that really fascinating, and it's something I think we should definitely keep our minds open to the impact of what we're eating, because I do think what we eat has a big influence on how we experience our time going through menopause.
Oh,
Sure.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And in your own journey to coming through the Menopause Coach Diploma, what were the things that you particularly enjoyed about the program or you found helpful and beneficial?
I enjoy the coaching session. Yeah. With the two coaches because um, I learned a lot from them. So
Your
there was
practice clients.
yes,
Yeah.
and there's a session on decluttering, and I go like I think I'm the culprit here. I need to declutter. They are doing such fantastic job in their life, and I go like I think need to look inwards. Yeah.
We learn so much from the
So
people we work with, don't we?
exactly, and it complement the talks that I'll be giving as well because you need that practice, you need that feedback, and then you can contribute to the rest of the community as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're working at the moment and you've done this as well. Tell me a little bit about how you're planning on using the Menopause Coach Diploma and some of the work you've done already.
Oh yeah. So it's I don't I do talk sometime, but I do not actively go out for asking people if they want to be coached. I find it very tough in my society, not because of my schedule. If they're willing to be helped, to look for me. And I have also created a Google Calendar whereby I spare like twice a week during my lunchtime a 15-minute clarity talk if they would like to, just to give them space, just one-on-one with me to discuss about the symptoms or questions that they may have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
You two
actually
were
heed
telling
your
me a little bit
advice.
about, yeah.
I remember
So
I once spoke to you about it. Yeah. Like, how do
yeah.
you know if the person is coachable? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you can
Something
tell that
along
when you
that
first
line.
meet somebody. Yeah, whether when you meet
Correct.
somebody, you can tell. And you told me also that before we came on the call that you have been doing some talks as well around International Women's Day. So how did they come about and who were they for?
All right. So I think thanks to my previous job being a salesperson, so I kind of like talked to a nutritionist, and then this nutritionist, he's working with the insurance organization, and they would like to offer such talk to the customers that they have. So at the same time, I also linked up with one of the doctor who's focusing on women's health. So I got their help as well. Yeah. So we kind of complement each other. They talk about the medical point of view, and I chip in about lifestyle changes and, nutrition and my own experience as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's so important to remember that menopause is, it takes a village. It takes, information and knowledge and support from all sorts of different people, from our doctors, from coaches, from menopause, specially trained menopause coaches, and from our community and family as well. Especially one of the sessions that I love teaching is asking for help and support and receiving help and support, which I think as women, we can be very good at giving help and support to other people, but often we're not so good at asking for it or receiving it as well. So one of the things that I've noticed when I've worked in Singapore, or if I worked in Southeast Asia, is that people are much more reserved about talking about menopause. How are you planning on tackling that going forward?
If it's in a small group, when I go onto this topic, the M topic, all good. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
But I think they are opening up. Yeah. And they will start to, some people will say, no, I'm great and no symptoms at all. I said, oh, really? I said, I'm feeling the fat shift, I'm getting I have migraine for a good 5 years every month. Ooh. Then slowly they started to open up. Say, oh yeah, I have this little bit and that little bit. I say, yeah, that could be a symptom, yeah. So I think they're opening up, but we need to have that support in the community. Yeah, talk about it.
And what changed?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, carry on, please. Carry on.
Okay, because most of the in Singapore, mostly we are dual income family. All right. So husband and wife all have to contribute. And with the high cost of living, most people are working beyond 55 years old. Yeah. So you can look at their journey. They'll be going through perimenopause and postmenopause while they're working. Yeah. So I think they need a lot of support.
Yeah, for sure. And what support do you see people getting from their doctors at the moment? What changes are you seeing beginning to come in?
So over here, to get you need to go to the specialist, the OB-GYN, to get the support you need. So of course, the Women's Hospital has established a wellness center to address the ladies who need help. Yeah. I think it will improve over time. I hope that more ladies would be willing to move forward and seek help. I often find women entrenched in their thoughts with their busy lifestyle. Yeah. So they are not setting time for themselves. And it goes like, oh, I do not want to do this. All these hormones are bad for health. They're not they're not good. They're chemicals, etc. But at the same time, every day they are living with hot flushes, brain fog, high anxiety. Yeah. So I hope they will be more open to the help that's available, and it improves with time. Yeah, that helped. Yeah.
And when we look at Singapore, what is the setup with your family doctors, or are there health checks at certain ages for women, or is it up to the woman to initiate those appointments?
The standard health check would be like mammogram, cervical screening, yeah, and of course the lipid test. Yeah, I talk about lipid tests. One of my GP insists that I have to be on statins.
Really?
Much as I tell him, hey, I'm going through this phase of my life, but naturally my cholesterol will be very high. He said, no. That you have to be on statins because my LDL is really bad.
That's so interesting, because different parts of the world have different tests and different approaches to how they manage all sorts of different health conditions, and it's just fascinating. I love speaking to people in different parts of the world to find out what are the regular tests, and are they tests you have all the way through your life, or do they start at a particular age? Do you have any routine endocrinology exams or appointments, or do you have any routine DEXA scans or anything like that?
I read about DEXA scan, and I did it 2 years ago. Yeah, on my own, not just the hospital or the polyclinics, but in our healthcare, we do have DEXA scan as well. Yeah. So, but there's nothing about the topic on menopause, nothing much on a general healthcare. Yeah.
So what
Specifically, they
would
have to go
trigger?
to the Women's Healthness Center. Yeah.
And is that initiated by the woman, or is there a certain age where someone is invited in for certain checks?
Not at all. Unlike UK, no. I know recently you have some menopause help for the general public. Not here yet.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting. I'm waiting to see that myself, and I know that we've brought in this women over 40 health check, and I still think it's a bit of a health postcode lottery in terms of who's being offered it and what they're actually being offered or what's being talked about during those. But it's exciting that we've got that now available, and everyone should be able to access that going forward. So when we come to things like menopause hormone treatment, menopause replacement therapy, menopause, there's so many different acronyms from MHT to HRT and all the rest of it. How is that more widely viewed by the women's hospitals at the moment in Singapore?
Yeah, over here they use the term MHT. Yeah. And I think they will listen to the ladies and they'll look at the symptoms and if MHT helps with them. Yeah. Or if the government hospital is not there's a choice between the government hospital or the private practice. Yeah. But definitely not from GP. Yeah.
Right. And what about testosterone? Do people talk about testosterone? Is that available?
No.
How is that viewed?
No. For men.
For men
I understand
only.
that's official in UK and Australia.
Yeah.
Is that so? Not in Singapore.
Australia has testosterone and androfen for women. But the UK doesn't yet. Although we have been running testosterone patch tests, so it'll be interesting to see what the results of that are. And they may well be out by the time this episode goes live. So I'm excited to hear what happens there. So what are the kind of key takeaways that you learned on the Menopause Coach Diploma that you're going to use in going forward in the work that you're doing?
I find that going through perimenopause and post-menopause, there's a lot about lifestyle changes. Yeah. Be it HRT or MH, menopause replacement therapy is there to ease our symptoms. We need to have that mindset shift that our body is telling us to slow down, to recalibrate. Yeah. So I think it takes a lot of wisdom and courage to enter into that phase of life.
And that comes as a big contradiction. If you're working past 55, you're in that kind of post-menopausal age. Now, from the studies I've read, I understand that in Asia, in Southeast Asia for sure, but in Singapore, what's the average age of menopause?
49.
49. Yeah. So just that couple of years younger than here in the UK. And so you're going through menopause, you're still working, you've potentially got your family, and all of this is coming together at the same time. And yet, like you said, our bodies are telling us to slow down, to manage all of that. So it's almost like a train, two trains coming together face to face. So what advice would you, or what suggestions would you make to people that are becoming menopausal, that are still juggling family life and work life and menopause as well?
Women, we are very resilient. A lot of them are containing it. Yeah. So I think first, the men have to help as well. Yeah. To be supportive of their partner, their wife. And hopefully over time, the workplace will make this be heard and have group support for them.
Yeah. And what role would you like to play in making that happen?
First of all, I would like to talk about this in my own office.
Yes.
So I have been talking to other customers, and I was thinking, why am I not doing this in my own place?
Exactly. Yeah. Have they been receptive to it?
I think I'll be the one who asks.
Yeah. Do you feel confident and ready to have that conversation?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have this conversation with almost every single woman until I go I have to control myself because I'm not sure if this is what they want to listen to. I'm too passionate with this topic. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love the fact that you're speaking to people and you're collaborating with individuals, with the doctor, with nutritionists. I think it's so powerful when we come together with other people to be able to open doors and have these conversations. But I'd also think it'd be lovely to have the men coming along for that conversation too. So I'm just curious, what might you be able to do to help the men realize that it's in their best interest to learn about menopause so they can support their loved ones and the people they're working with as well?
Yeah, coincidentally, one of the talk, the HR say, we want to have a page on what men needs to know about menopause. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And what are the key things you think?
yeah, but in my head, I kind of know, I want to inform them like point number 1 to number 10 kind of thing. So next I turn to my husband, I say, what do you think you need to know about menopause? I said, we just need to know how to manage our wives.
Manage or support?
Yeah, so I kind of like take it, you're a team, working together. We are not like in an organization on power play, right? You need to support each other. Yeah. So I show him a video of another doctor. I say, you see, men have the equivalent as well, and you'll be having testosterone declining gradually, and one day we'll meet somewhere. You'll be going through the same. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really great way to position it.
He started to realize that, it's true that I'm getting more and more domesticated. I said, yeah.
It's very interesting how we kind of we have this massive surge of hormones in our teens and 20s, and then, both genders. And then all of a sudden we have this meeting in the middle where, we are a team. We are pulling together. I love that. I love that approach. So what would the top three things would you say to any men listening to this podcast?
Notice the difference in your wife and find the right time to speak to them, and help in management of stress as well. I think what was helpful for me during the past few years was keep pulling me out of my norm as in my work, my daily routine, and do something different and get fresh air, more space. Yeah, I think although I will be like grumbling, why are you doing this? I'm very busy, da, da, da. But after that, I was like kind of like, grateful, glad that I did that, kind of thing. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And what about to a male line manager that might be listening to this in Singapore? What would you say to a male line manager?
The male line managers, I think sometimes they kind of like being caught. What is this about? But I think they need to be, if they're not comfortable, I think it's good for them to talk to their HR, how they can start the support group for females. So they're kind of like at the back end and have the HR to front of this to help the ladies. Yeah. And, having said that, if it would be good to have more flexible work arrangement, which is legislated in Singapore, as in whoever employees can apply for flexible work arrangement. I think that will help for women who's going through this phase of life. But I think at the very first step, I think women themselves have to be honest with themselves and admit that they're facing issues. So many of them are in denial, and it's not good for your colleagues, and it's not good for your family.
Yeah. I wonder whether they don't know that they're perimenopausal. I wonder if they just think that it's part and parcel and the stress and strain of life, and actually they're not really aware that they're actually,
Because they're thinking, my mom went through it, I should be able to still through this. Why is it that my mom is able to go through this and I'm not able to? Yeah. They compare.
So, very generally, if we look at our mothers, so if you were looking at your mom, so generation before, and your generation, do you think there's much difference in the lifestyle of your mother and the lifestyle of you?
Yeah, I was having this conversation with my mother, and I'm very happy that I'm able to have this conversation with my mother.
Yeah.
All right. So my mom, when she was young, she was poor. She has to cycle like 20 kilometers to work and 20 kilometers back for lunch and 20 kilometers back to work again. So that's like 4 times a day. All right.
Wow.
And my mom loved food. She eats well. And you look at the amount of exercises that she's doing when she was young. Unlike me, my lifestyle is, more sedentary. Even in a sales job, most of the time I'll be driving to the customer place, park, and go out for meetings, and there it is. There it goes. Yeah, yeah. So I think the lifestyle has changed. The food is different. Yeah, a lot more processed food these days. Yeah. So that's a big challenge for most of the ladies today. The stress. The food.
Yeah. Gosh, your mum cycling that amount every day. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. So that was her lifestyle then. But I also get to speak to her about the symptoms of postmenopause. Yeah. And the genital urinary symptoms of menopause is very real. And for their generation, they do not want to talk about it. Yeah, not at all. To them, it's embarrassing. Yeah.
And did your mum's generation have any support? Did their doctors offer them any support when they were going through their menopause journey?
Not at all. Not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what does your mum think of you studying to be a menopause coach? What was her take on that?
Kind of like, oh, you're doing this. I said, Mom, can I offer you some help? No, I don't need that.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
amazing.
The closest now that I can give help to is my sister. She's like 9 years older than me. Yeah, so she's like almost like 10 years post-menopause.
Oh, amazing. Fantastic. So what's your big dream with your menopause coach qualifications? What's the dream and desire that you have going forward?
Currently, I'm still doing pro bono for coaching. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I do not actively seek customers for coaching. So I believe those who have saw what I put on LinkedIn or wherever I put on my Instagram, if they come to me, I believe they are looking for help. Yeah. So I help them.
Yeah.
I help them maybe like to be clear with their thoughts. Yeah. What do they want to do? Yeah. And I believe the coaching will help them to achieve their goals, in a sequence and what matters most to them. Yeah. And sort out one by one. Yeah. And not to put everything together. Yeah.
No, it's too much. It's too much. We're too busy for all of that.
Yeah.
Amazing. What else have I known?
Yeah. I'm very grateful that at this phase, of my life, that I'm able to help them. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so grateful to you for doing this work and helping to help people in your community as well. That's what lights me up. That's what gets me out of bed every day, just knowing that there's people around the world who've got such a big heart and are so empathic and wanting to help other people. So I thank you very much for doing this work. Is there anything I haven't asked you today that you would like to share with everyone?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it takes courage and wisdom to age well. Yeah. To do everything you need at this point of time so that you'll live better in 10, 15, 20 years later. Yeah.
Top tip. Viola, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you, and especially that you turned up every week for the program at such a late time for you. And on that initial 3 days that you were turning up at midnight. So you show absolute commitment to learning, to helping other people. So big thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work that you're going on to do and help and support other people.
Thank you, Lauren.
Pleasure. Thank you for joining me on Women of a Certain Stage. I hope today's episode inspired you to think differently about menopause and the incredible opportunities this stage of life brings. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with 3 friends who need to hear this message. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps us reach even more people. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Lauren Turin, or visit our website at womenofacertainstage.com to learn more about menopause coaching, inspiring events, and corporate training. Until next time, let's continue making a difference, one conversation at a time.